Hi everyone, it's Kenya aka Timon Rebel, and I'm here with part 2 of my top 10 K-dramas. We're gonna just knock these out, and I'm a little bit excited for this half of the list because these are like, I did say I didn't put these in any type of order, but I will have to say this half of the list are like probably my top 5. This is going to be number 6, and this is Witch's Court. Nope, that's not it. That's a different show. So this one's going to be number 6, and this is Witch's Romance. It stars Park Seo-joon, Jung-hwa, and Han Jae-suk. It aired in 2014 on TVN, and it is 16 episodes long. So this is a Nuno romance. I'm warning you now. This is not, I don't want to call it an extreme case of Nuno romance, but it is a 12-year age gap. So the main character is 39, the main female character is 39, and the main male character is 25. So it is a pretty wide age gap for some people. It did bother me just a tad bit because Jung-hwa does look a bit older than the character's age. It was kind of hard to believe, but in the end, she carried herself with grace. I don't know, some people might call it cringe, but I fell in love with this show. So our main female, played by Jung-hwa, is a 39-year-old workaholic. She's a reporter, and she basically just loves her job, but she's also really, really passionate to a fault. So a lot of people call her a witch at work because, well, she's always down people's throats and making sure stuff happens. And her biggest, romantic fault is that she went through some past experience that made her not believe in love anymore. So she's basically putting all her effort into work, so she doesn't have to think about how lonely she is. And it, the feels, man, the feels. And Park Seo-joon's character is a 25-year-old errand boy runner person. He runs a small business that's doing errands for people with his best friend. And he also went through some romance experiences that I don't want to ruin the show. And his story is a lot more sadder, but he's more optimistic in his viewpoints. So when they start to get together and start having a romance, he's a lot more passionate about it while she's a bit more standoffish. Because their age gap too, so she's worried about how people see them. But in the end, this was my first Park Seo-joon drama that he was like the main male lead. I fell in love with his face. He's totally my type. But anyways, from their both perspectives, they kind of came together and made this pure romance that no matter how hard stuff is, as long as you got each other's backs, as long as you respect each other, you can overcome a lot of stuff. And that's how and the comedy is also really funny. But so that's how I kind of just fell into this show, and I fell in love with it, and I've rewatched it about 5 times now. And you can watch this show on Viki. Number 7 is Reply 1988. It aired in 2015 on TVN with 20 episodes. And it is a slice of life, youth, family, friendship comedy. This one really focuses on family dynamics, and I think that's why I fell in love with this one more than the other 2. And usually this series has like more than 5 people as the main cast, so I'm definitely on a read off my hand notebook here. It stars Lee Hye-ri, Go Kyung-po, Lee Jun-yo, Park Bo-gum, and Lee Dong-hui. The parents were also very amazing. They're also very well-known actors and actresses as well. I love all of them. So 1988, like I said, focused more on family ties, but to get into a really quick summary, would be 5 childhood friends that live in the same neighborhood, grow up together, and lean on one another while they go through the trials and tribulations of, being a teenager in the 1980s. So the show usually goes back and forth between present day, reminiscing amongst about their teen years, which is why it's called Reply 1988. It's like, come back 1988, let's relive those beautiful moments in our life. This one doesn't focus on the romance as much as the other 2 did, and that's another really big reason why I liked it, because no matter how hard I tried to guess, I didn't know who she was going to end up with. All of these amazing actors just suck you in. And another thing I really like about the Reply series is that It's always focused in a time period of Korea where there's an event going on or something big happened. And I believe this one was about soccer, maybe? I don't remember. It's been a long time since I watched it now. And then what the main female sister was protesting with a lot of college students because of, I forget what happened at that point in time. Like, this series is like getting a peep in at what happens, what has happened in Korean society, but then they're experiencing as teenagers, so you have to see what they go through as kids in that time period. And then you have our main female lead who's supposed to be with some dude in the future, but you don't know. Out of all of her guy friends, 3 or 4 of them, you have to try to pick out which one is going to be through their interactions, through their relationships, through how they grow with each other. And this series is just so good. So number 8 is Reply 1997, the first one in the Reply series. It aired in 2012 on TVN with 16 episodes, and it is a romance youth drama comedy. And just like the other one, there's always 5 or 6 more people in this cast, so my handy dandy notebook. It stars Jung Eun-ji, So In-guk, Hoya, Shin So-yu, Eun Ji-won, Lee Lee-shi-eun, and Song Jong-ho. I'm practicing Korean, y'all. It's getting better. It's getting a little better, I think. A little bit. So unlike 1988, which focuses a lot on family because they wanted to divert that a bit, the first original series starts off with a group of friends in their 30s reminiscing about their teenage years in 1997. We know who our female lead is, but we have to figure out who her husband is. We have to figure out of her 5 or so friends which guy is her husband. And that is like a big focus in the first series. And Eun-ji did a really good job playing this, oh my gosh, hot-headed, fan obsessed. She was totally obsessed with HOT. It was fun seeing how K-pop, like how its fandoms were becoming such a big thing there in Korea. It was hilarious. Like, these fans are crazy. The fun you get with the rest of the group is just as exciting as knowing who the main couple is going to be. So just once again, just growing with the characters. The Reply series does a great job with connecting with its audience and having the audience grow with its characters. There is Reply 1994, but I really didn't connect with that one as much, and the characters weren't as fun. Oh, you can check out 1988 and 1997 on Viki and Netflix. Free on Viki, you know, Netflix, you gotta pay a subscription though, so. Number 9 is Signal. Yes, I finally put a crime drama in this top 10 list. For those of you who like crime and mysteries and thrillers, Signal is my favorite. Signal was one of the best crime dramas that I've ever watched, and I am not into mystery thriller crimes like that. Aired in 2016 on TVN with 16 episodes. It stars Lee Jae-hoon, Kim Hye-soo, and Jo Jin-hoon. So a quick summary is that a walkie-talkie allows a detective to communicate with a detective from 1989 to communicate with a cold case profiler in 2015. Kim Hye-soo's character has been searching for her lost mentor for the past 15 years, and he happens to be the person on the walkie-talkie from 1989. So these 3 form a cold case team and prevents current cold cases from ever happening in the present. But because they changed the past, they have to now deal with the consequences of the actions of changing said past. And that is this drama in a nutshell. And it keeps you on your toes, man. It is such a good show. I just remember getting such an adrenaline rush watching it. And I will say it's one of my favorite shows, and I really want to rewatch it when I have the mental capacity to deal with it. And the show happened to be so popular that it spanned 2 more remakes. One is a Chinese remake, and the other one's a Japanese remake. So the Japanese remake is also called Signal. It is 10 episodes, and if anyone is a connoisseur of Japanese cinema, Japanese drama, cinema, okay, that too. the Japanese dramas, you always know that they shorten a lot of Korean shows to fit their format. If you like fast-paced stuff, I will suggest watching the Japanese version. I heard overall that it was good. And then you have the Chinese version if you like the more slow-paced build-up. The Chinese version is 32 episodes, 16 to 32 episodes. It's called Unknown Number. And with my experience with Chinese dramas, I get bored. At least by episode 16. All their shows are just so long for no reason. I've never finished a Chinese drama and gave it a good rating. They always land in the 5 or 6s for me. So if you're into slower paced build-ups, I suggest watching the Chinese version. Signal's good, y'all. It is on Viki and on Netflix. We're probably about to enter my #1 drama out of all of these, even though I put it at 10. Number 10 is Weightlifting Fairy Kim Bok-ju. I love this show. I was obsessed with this show when it came out. It has a special place in my heart. It aired in 2016 on MBC with 16 episodes. It stars Lee Sung-kyung, Nam Joo-hyuk, Lee Jae-yoon, and Kyung Soo-jin. So the show is a romantic comedy. That's it. A coming-of-age romantic comedy. Sung Kyung's character is an aspiring weightlifter, and she goes to college as an athlete, as a weightlifter, and she falls in love with, or develops a crush on, her friend, who is Nam Joo-hyuk's character, older brother. So she develops a crush on her friend's older brother. He decides to tease her about it and eventually help her with her crush, but along the way, he starts falling in love with her and seeing all of her little intricateness and, you know, her cuteness. And that's where the story just gets so adorable. Yeah, it's just really a coming-of-age story about a group of college students who are fighting for their dreams and falling in love in the process, man. It's all about love and dreams. Yeah, I love this drama so much. It is the right amount of cuteness. It is the right amount of toughness from our main girl, from Sung Kyung. It is the right amount of love and never goes overboard with anything outside of these two developing their romance. And it's even better because he falls in love with her first and tries to win her over through the little ways he knows how. So it starts off as, you know, him still teasing her, to him getting jealous over her talking to other guys, to him trying so hard not to say his feelings and trying to get her to catch on, to him still being a butthole. Like, I'm gonna insert a clip. This one gif, this one scene is the embodiment of this show. It is the embodiment of their relationship, and I hope you go watch it. The show, the characters, everything in that show was great. It was amazing. This all came together so nicely. The comedy is just on point. These two bickering is the best. So Weightlifting Fairy Kim Bok-ju, definitely probably my #1 favorite drama. I love it so much. Alright, so that's the end of my top 10 list. I hope this 2-part format helped, because I didn't want to ramble on for a whole 20 so minutes talking about 10 dramas. Because I know I would possibly do that, and I don't know how to summarize and make less than 10-minute videos. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you want to be notified of more videos. Bye!